Hi everybody, I'm Ron Futrell. This is the house that Tark built, the Thomas and Mack Center here on the campus at UNLV. Join us now for the next 60 minutes as we take a look back at that exciting final year for America's winningest college basketball coach. What are your thoughts, first of all, on the secret videotaping situation?
Well, you know, I really haven't had a chance to go through the entire tape, but I know I've talked to coaches and I've seen part of the tape. Ron, there absolutely wasn't any coaching of any kind. There was no basketball in the gym. We don't believe there's any violation of any kind. The only thing that can be open to interpretation is we do some slides in the class, and now the NC2A can interpret that those slides are teaching a skill, but we interpret those slides as developing the groins and hamstrings, and that's conditioning, it's basketball conditioning. And I guess they did a lot of slides sometimes with their hands up. But again, you're developing the strength under your arms to keep your hands extended over long periods of time. So we feel that those are all conditioning, and it'll all be open to interpretation. There's absolutely no basketball in the gym of any kind, and so we don't feel that there's any problem there.
But first, let's talk with Coach Tark about a game against Cuba that you guys had. The team, first time out of the Thomas and Mack Arena against other competition. The Cuban team, really a pretty good team coming into this game.
Well, you know, I was really pleased, Ryan. I didn't think we'd play that well, and particularly this early in the year. I thought our kids played really well. The only thing that disappointed me, we had to win by playing a zone.
You don't like that zone,
well,
do you?
Well, you know, you feel like you're more sound if you do it in a man-to-man. A zone, you always feel like you won because you had a gimmick that they couldn't handle. I would much rather win playing a man-to-man, knowing that you know, they just couldn't handle us, period, not a gimmick. And that's the only drawback that I can see.
Welcome, first of all, on a week off. Now, although you didn't take a week off in practice, you did not have a game this week. What did you work on this week?
Well, you know, we're still trying to put our team together. We just really put in our offense against the full court press. We still have to work against the half court trap. We put in a trap of our own. We're just trying to get our game ready so that when our season opens, that, you know, we're capable of attacking any type of defense we see. You
mentioned last week that you're working with J.R. Ryder on some basketball fundamentals, really. This is a guy who's very talented, could shoot the lights out from the outside, got a 41, 42-inch vertical leap, but he's still got to work on some basic basketball fundamentals. What are you working with him?
Well, you know, a big thing with J.R. is he didn't play his senior year in high school. He played 2 years of junior college ball, and he's got great ability, and he's a hard worker. He's a listener. He wants to learn, and you know, he just needs a little more experience. That's all. I just think the more JR plays, the better he's going to get. And you know, we're working hard with him fundamentally, and I think we're doing a lot of full court work and a lot of teamwork this year, a lot more than we've done in the past. In the past, we've been mostly a drill team, doing mostly drills, but this year we're doing more 4-on-4 and 5-on-5 because we have so many new kids that we're trying to get them the concept of playing 5-on-5.
Now, looking back on it, the NCAA put you guys in a real tough position last year by saying that last year's team, the Johnson, Augman, Anthony team, could not go to the Final Four, and in fact, the university decided to defer it to this year's team. Looking back on that, do you wish you would have fought them a little bit harder on that, perhaps?
Well, you know, I think both ways. You know, it's just so unfair. The whole decision was unfair because, you know, the only reason I was able to get an injunction is because we didn't get a fair hearing. If we had a fair hearing, I couldn't have got an injunction. So the fact that they didn't give us a fair hearing, they decided to punish the kids 13 years later or 14 years later, just doesn't seem like it's the American way of doing things.
Against LSU, Saturday night in the Thomas and Mack Arena, and I thought this game was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be a blowout towards the way of LSU, a team that was ranked #2 in the nation according to Sports Illustrated, and they were coming into the Thomas Mack against a very inexperienced Rebel team. When you're talking about major college experience, they really were, and there was a blowout indeed, Coach, a 21-point blowout by you guys over LSU. And at the news conference afterwards, you just sat there and you were stunned. For the first couple of minutes, you were just telling the writers and the sportscasters there that you just couldn't believe what happened in that game. I couldn't believe what happened. You guys really did it.
I really couldn't, Ron. Defensively, we were so good. We rebounded so well. We played with a degree of intensity that was really incredible. You rarely ever see a team play with that kind of intensity, and you know, we can't do that every week. It'd be nice if we could, but we were at a real emotional high, and and we played with a degree of intensity that was absolutely incredible.
The first half was frustrating to watch, at least, because neither team could hit from the outside, and the Rebels really had a tough time hitting from the outside.
Well, we had a tough time scoring, but we were so good defensively, we stayed in the game, and then finally we started shooting a little bit better, and we got running pretty good, and I thought we really dominated the boards good. Melvin Love came in and just sparked us.
That first half, he was incredible.
He just went in, got 11 straight points, and just sparked us.
A tough game in a tough city against a pretty good opponent there in Rutgers. Your thoughts on the game now? It wasn't a game that we could see that was televised here in Las Vegas. So, first of all, tell us, through your eyes, what the scene, what the situation was like taking on Rutgers.
Well, first of all, you know, they took that game on like it was a national championship. The place was sold out, third largest crowd in the history of their school, and they really played well. I thought they played really well. The first half, I thought we played maybe as good a ball as we've played all year, and we were playing well the first half. They came out, and second half their press got to us, and we turned the ball over too many times, and we still had a chance to win the game. The last minute and 50 seconds, we turned the ball over 3 times, and we missed 4 free throws. But we still had every chance to win the game. If we hit any of those free throws at the end, we'd have won in regulation.
Are those losses sometimes the most frustrating to take because you look back and think, yeah, we should have had this one. We should have won this game.
Well, it was a strange game.
From the Rebels' point of view.
You know, we had a great first half, then they came out and took the lead the second half and looked like they were going to get going pretty good. And then we came back and took a 6-point lead. And, you know, when JR fouled out, we were 6 points up with, I think, 3 minutes to go. And then when Didon hit a free throw, we were 4 up with 58 seconds to go. And we kept turning the ball over and missing free throws. And they played real well, though. They played real hard. They played real well. They made clutch buckets when they had to. And, you know, you got to give them credit. They won the game.
The Missouri game. You didn't expect to go into there and win a ball game. Missouri is a tough place to play in against a very experienced team with a great coach, Norm Stewart. And are you happy overall, though, with the way the guys played? You lost the game. You can't be happy with that, but...
You know, I'm not happy with the way we played, but really, I thought for us to win there, we'd have to play a perfect game. And, you know, when we got in there to practice the day before, they said their record in that place has been 72-4, and 2 to 4 losses was when Peeler didn't play. So, you know, I knew we had I knew we were going in a real tough situation. But I just don't, you know, we were in the game. We had some really tough calls go against us, but we were in the game. But yet I don't think we played real well. You know, at least I don't think we played as hard as we could play. But, you know, maybe that's to be expected when you got all new guys and you're on the road 4 out of 5 weeks. But, you know, I would love to see us come back and play with the type of intensity that we're capable of playing with. And that's what disturbs me more than anything else. I just don't think we're really putting forth as great an effort as we possibly can.
Coach, let's first talk about the game that was played Saturday against Eastern Michigan. You played in the Palace in Auburn Hills. The team came out slow in this game. That's quite an understatement. They came out very slow in this game, but finally got it going.
You know, we've started almost every game real tight. I really think that there's so much pressure on these kids because everybody still refers to them as the running Rebels, and I think they try to equate them to the last few clubs we've had. And we start out every game very tight, very tentative. We don't play freely. We don't flow into anything. And then I think we got it going pretty good the second half. But I thought the thing that I was happiest with is I thought we played real good defense. And I think this is the second game in a row. I think we've done a pretty good job defensively. And I think we're getting to a point where we're becoming a pretty good defensive team. And I think that's where you start. When you start playing good defense, you start really being successful.
Let's start out with a game that was played Saturday night in the Thomas and Mack Arena. You took on cross-state rival Nevada Reno, the only other university in the state, and you guys took on Nevada Reno. And I don't know, the football team had a tough time against Nevada Reno this year. Lost up at Reno, but the basketball team, it always seems to make up for whatever when the football team loses to Reno. There's a fireworks show before the game. Reno made it clear they were hitting from threes early on in this game.
They hit their threes early in the game, and, you know, we were playing man-to-man defense. We tried to take away those threes. They stayed in the game a while. We missed our free throws. It wasn't a real intense play game, and you know, I really wasn't real happy with the way we played. I was really happy with the score. I never went in the game thinking that we'd win by more than 20 points or that I would be unhappy with that. I just didn't think we played real well.
Rebels on defense. Nice pass there by Dexter Boney. Pretty good dunk by J.R. Ryder. The Rebels' ball movement looked real good. Coach, take a look at these next two sequences.
Yeah, at times we moved the ball pretty good. That was a good, we moved it real good and got it to the baseline to Everett.
Here's another one for you. These guys zipping the ball around real well, finding the open guy. They'll penetrate like you want and then kick it back out.
Yeah, that's great ball movement there.
That's exactly what you want them to do, isn't it?
That's great ball. But they were in a matchup zone defense, and you have to move the ball and you have to slide people along the baseline against a matchup.
There's J.R. Ryder getting hammered underneath with that foul. He's rubbing his head. He's like, geez, he's got to get some hair on that head maybe to help himself out when he gets fouled underneath there. Lynn Stevens, former coach at Washington State, now with Nevada Reno, but still the game 20-20. But the Rebels D gets it going here, and H. Waldman, good decision here on the break. As he gets the layup in there, and the Rebels with the lead at halftime. Second half here, H. And so, first of all, you got J.R. Ryder hitting from the outside here.
We did move the ball pretty good. You know, I think sometimes you get a little more critical than we should be, but we are moving the ball pretty good. It was a good pass in the post.
H to Melvin Love, and then again you're going to see H. Waldman, the point guard, pass it inside to Melvin Love.
I would love to see us make some free throws once in a while. I'd love to see us make 2 free throws on it when we get a chance.
In a row?
In a row.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the only club in the country that celebrates when we make 1 out of 2.
Good pass by J.R. Ryder to Everett Gray. Rebels pull out to a 60-44 lead. Bad pass here. Look at Coach. You're up by about 20 points here on the sidelines, but you still don't like the bad passes when they're made like that. And then Elmore Spencer showing he's got an outside touch here every once in a while.
As long as he doesn't shoot it too often. That was when he squared up, he's a pretty good shooter from there.
93-72 as the Rebels beat Nevada Reno. An impressive performance. 5 players in double figures also, so you balanced the scoring out real well. J.R. Ryder leading the Rebels in scoring with 20 points in the game. You got to be happy with the balanced scoring as we show the ball movement. Really, I was impressed at times by the way this team could zip the ball around.